Alright everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So got caught up with the rest of the Shonen Jump videos and the next part of the read-through for Black Hammer. So we finished wrapping up the finale for that series. So initially my first plan was, as I was doing like the regular rotation through the cycles, to do the next volume of Bride Story. But I was looking it up, and apparently volume 9 of Mars Chronicle is the latest one that is out currently, with volume 10 slated for February 2025 to be released. So I figured, since I did enjoy 8 so much, and since this is now the final volume of Mars Chronicle is currently out, might as well just cover it all this weekend and get through to this series. I can wrap up 2 of the current read-throughs on my channel. So then next week, once I dive back into Bride Story again, I can kind of add some new series back into the rotation again. So slightly altered plans, but I think everyone will be kind of happy with it. But yeah, so finish wrapping up the videos for Black Hammer, Kane Banashi Spy Family, and the rest of the Shonen Jump stuff. So I'm going to arrive into the next volume of Battle Angel Alita Mars Chronicle here. But if you haven't already before that, as always, if you like this content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Especially please, pushing the buttons really does help these videos with the algorithm, more than views do, because unfortunately YouTube does get that boost when you click the buttons, more so than seeing how many people actually watch something. So if you'd like to help me out with that, that'd be greatly appreciated. But without further ado, let us dive into with Battle Angel Alita Mars Chronicle Volume 9 by Yukito Kishiro. As we have Log 42, the legendary atmospheric entry. So we pick up where we left off last time with Big Mama going, "How could this have happened? And under your watch?" And you have a Coin going, "I'm sorry. This is my fault, as is Jackalova's escape." And you have Erica has claimed that she knows where they are. "Would you like to explain yourself, Erica?" And she kind of reaches under her eye patch and like takes out the little bug and goes, "It was this. I find her hiding down in the sewers. She threatened me and forced me to use this bug robot to spy on people." And he's like, "I can't believe they kidnapped Yoko. I'll make them pay." And Nogura's like, "You know that big freak Coin?" It's like, "Sadly, yeah. Wish I could forget. He and I fought once. It was 11 years ago. The fourth expedition had been a real fiasco. I got separated from my squad and went around finding others who had lost their companions too. We prowled around taking out enemy ships. And you see fourth expedition, officially the Martian North Pole conflict. A war that broke out between Martian forces and space pirates when the pirates attempted to build a base on the North Pole of Mars at ES-361. Hostilities arose 4 times, with the lost conflict taking place in ES-363. You see just like this giant warship like exploding as it's being shot at. You have, "Engineer, we're losing altitude." It's like, "Don't ask the impossible, man. She won't last. We gotta ditch her." It's like, "This is as far as we get then. Hey, whatever happened to old Iron Eye?" It's like, "Huh? A starboard escape pod?" And you see one with an R2 launching off with, "Son of a bitch, Morton flew the coop." It's like, "Kunstler, you and I are the only allies left. There's one portside functional pod left. Let's get out of here." And you have Coin going, "Fine, let's go." And you see "Hurry, it's only a matter of time before the hull breaks apart." And you see just like the ship getting like atmospheric entries is burning up. Sorry, going the other way. Do you have a what? "You have little shitbirds. You think you can get away from me? Do you?" And you see like a lionish looking Giapolo with like these 2 razor arm things like slicing up people. And he goes, "It was him, Giapolo. My first thought was, he looks like he's got halitosis." And Coin's like, "Heh, piece of cake. I'll handle this guy. You make sure we've got that pod ready to go, engineer." He's like, "Heh, don't try to boss me around, Kunstler." It's like, "Just make it quick." It's like, "So you're that fella using Panzerkunst?" It's like, "Not that I ever advertised it." It's like, "Show me what you can do, Martian bumpkin." And he's like, "Sorry, but I'll only need 1 blow." And you see a crack as he just shatters Giapolo's spine with one of them. And you have a glurp as he just spits up a bunch of blood. He's like, "Grah, is that all?" And Coin's like, "Too shallow?" He's like, "Rah, what's wrong, huh?" And he seems like swinging out with his little maces. And you have, in short, the man was just too tough to kill. And you see Coin just flipping over with a thump as he slams another one right into his head. And he's like, "I gave him lethal blows numerous times, but he shrugged them all off." He's like, "Yeah, having fun, boy?" He's like, "It was the first time." And you see like he's literally cracked open a portion of his skull with it. So it was the first time I ever struggled so much against a non-Kunstler. And he said, Vadoom, as the ship starts breaking apart. Yeah, what's taking you so long, Kunstler? We can't wait any longer. And you see with the whip as he tosses a string or like a rope and like ties it around Giapolo's leg. Jeff, Gwa! He's like, huh? I can't get free. Well, I suppose he tied a little what's that thing? The gun where you shoot off like a grappling hook. He tied it around his leg and like hooked it to part of the ship that's falling apart. Java, huh? I can't get free. He's like, so long, pirate. He's like, Grah, get back here. You see him taking off in the escape pod as the ship breaks up an entry. Jeff, whew, that was a close one. So you think the ship wreckage will crash with the canopy and leave a huge hole? It's like, I don't give a shit. We can't be responsible for everything. He's like, gotta hand it to you, Kunstler. You're just as tough as they say. It's like, you say, oh, Christ, of course. It's like, you saved my ass too, engineer. He's like, his name's Das. He's like, coin. Drinks are on me when we get back. And you see Das is looking out the windows. He goes, oh no, you've got to be kidding me. And you see Giapolo just hanging on for dear life on a giant piece of like rubbish as he's riding it down. Nogro's like, bald-faced liar. He entered atmosphere nothing but a suit clinging to a piece of metal? No one can survive something like that. Coin's like, I don't know what to tell you. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. And Erica's just like all entranced by this. Like, that's when Das and Coin met. It's like, and then what? It's like, well, I was a lot meaner back then. Jeff like, yeah! It's like, what the? He's holding on to us. It's like, come on, get out here, you chicken shits. And Coin's like, know your place, you measly pirate. It's like, whoa, hey, what are you doing? It's like, going out there to kick his ass. It's like, are you crazy? And Nogro's like, just a minute. Are you saying you opened the hatch and went out there with them? So the very thought gives me chills now. Fortunately, by the time I opened the hatch, the pod had slowed down so I didn't get fried by plasma. But being supersonic in the atmosphere was beyond anything I'd imagined. I couldn't use any techniques. The best I could do was cling for dear life and keep up a pathetic game of patty cake. And he's even just like kicking him with a punk, get off, bitch! He's like, brace for impact, parachutes are deploying. You have a boom as the parachutes deploy, and you have a Gah! As Giapolo's grabbing on, he's trying to slice it off. He's like, you're not cutting this cable, asshole! And he's like, Gah! As he takes a blow to the head, and you see that's how like Giapolo's face gets like all bloodied and shattered. And you see, hey Kunstler, you still alive over there? He's like, somehow. And you see the part of Giapolo's blade like broke off inside Coin's suit into his head. It's like, so the injuries are what forced you to retire from active duty. It's like, Giapolo survived too. Looks like fate wasn't done with us yet. So we get log 43, not a prisoner. Eugen team got wiped out? You mean the Eugen? So combining pieces of intelligence tells me that the one who attacked them was the same mechanismo you saw by the name of Giapolo. It's like, he'll pay the price for this, I swear. It's like, well, sad to say, we can't commit major reinforcements to eliminating Giapolo. Yeah, this major offensive plan that will utilize all the forces on the Eastern Front. The brass finally wants to put all their weight into crushing Zonahedron. But I can still offer you some backup. I've got one person I can send on a label. In fact, he requested it, and it's like Arn or whatever the hell, it was a young blonde kid we met last volume whose name I cannot remember. And you see how they're going on this little dune buggy. Erica's like, talk about slow. Can't this go any faster? Coin's like, calm down. They're not going to hurt a hostage. It's like, you think so? And Coin's like, can I ask you something? He's like, what? It's like, what is Yoko to you? You're not real sisters or anything, are you? And Erica's like, Yoko, to me, Yoko is... It's like, Yoko is just a baby. She needs me to take care of her. It's like, but she'll grow up before you know it. It's like, Yoko won't grow up. Yoko will always be little and cute and helpless. Yoko is mine. I won't let anyone else have her. And she just looks like shocked by the fact she revealed all of this to Coin and then slides back down to the tank. He's like, poor kid. She's desperate for something to fill the empty cracks in her heart, but that something will never be hers. When Yoko grows up and stops being her little plaything, what will you do then, Erica? And he's like, look at me. Do I have nothing better to do? Wasting time feeling sorry for some brat? You have Lynx Hill Fortress in Hydaspes Chaos, roughly 1,200 kilometers southwest of Deja Thoris, and buffer zone at the border with Crommelin Province. It is here that Jackaloba and Gyaplo lie in wait for coin. And you see, you two stay here and behave, okay? As they've got Uni and Yoko kind of chained up to some pipes. And Yoko's like, Uni, can't you make the fairy take over and bust you out of here? It's like, I'm sorry, I can't. I can't make it happen. It has to happen to me. And she's like, Mika, please at least let Yoko go. I'll give you all the candy I have in my pockets. And she's like, I can't do that, miss. Oh, but I might take that candy anyway. He's like, what? There's only 3? He's like, let's play rock, paper, scissors. He's like, by the way, I think you've got the wrong idea. See, we might be following Jackalova's orders because of the chips in our heads, but that doesn't mean it's against our will. It's like, but they're bad people. You shouldn't do what bad people tell you to do. And she's like, we don't really care if they're bad people or not. As long as they help us forget the pain, we'll do whatever they want. Yeah, hey, look what I found. He's like, a gun. Where was that? He's like, it was on that body back there. He's like, hey, let's shoot something with it. And he just like pulls one into the chamber. He looks over at Yoko and go, is it true that cyborgs don't feel pain when they get shot? Let's find out. And you see Yoko just looking there all innocent. And Yuni's like, no, that's dangerous. Stop it. Don't point that gun at people, Ko. He's like, why not? You kill a bunch of those soldiers, Uni. He's like, don't bring that up. He's like, is this really a good idea, Mika? It's like, I can't get in touch with Jackaloba. I think she's having an important conversation with someone else. So we brought her here with us to lure Erica. But who cares? I don't like her anyway. It's like, I got the all clear. He fires off a shot with a bang. And you have an eek! That's a bullet just ricochets. It's like, I heard it buzz past my ear. It's like, are you crazy? That could have killed us. It's like, what the hell? She dodged the bullet. You see Yoko just having pulled out of the way. He's like, hey, you, don't move. Just sit still. And she's still looking wide-eyed. As you have, Erica always saved her in these situations, but Erica wasn't there. Yoko wasn't afraid. She played the part of Yoko, the helpless baby around Erica, because Erica liked it that way. It wasn't a deliberate choice. She did it unconsciously. She wanted Erica to love her, and that desire was preventing Yoko's own growth. But Erica's not here. Through dulled wits, Yoko considered the situation. What now? Should I just do it? The boy's finger pulled the trigger incredibly slowly. She could hear the mechanisms inside the gun working. The passage of just a fraction of a second felt so long she could have napped through it. She had a keen sense of sight. By simply focusing her eyes, Yoko could see a bee beating its wings. Every single hair appeared in vivid detail and color. Every little thing in the world was full of life in her eyes. She never told anyone about her remarkable eyesight. She didn't even remember when her vision had become so clear. The first time she saw Gilda fight in the minefield, she couldn't see anything. But the next time they met, she saw Gilda's every move. Inside Yoko's tiny chest, something was rapidly burgeoning, and in her mind, something audibly snapped. And you have freedom! As she just flips out, like the pleasure of moving her body to the fullest extent possible. The sensation of liberation fettered by nothing and no one. It's like he shoots. The bullet was still too fast to see, however. Channeling her new instincts hot and feral, Yoko wanted nothing more than to brutalize the boy who shot the gun. She tried to mimic the move she remembered Gilda doing. Jeff, was it like this? No, that's not it. She was grabbing her arm. She gets him in a little leg lock. So I got a slice here. It's like Yoko was very upset that she didn't have a blade in her elbow. You see a crack and a crock as she slams the kid in the arms, like breaks his arm and shoulder. He's like, ow, it hurts, owie, owie. You see, she got away, and she just like jumps up onto the ledge and climbs out the window. So, but how? It's like she detached her wrist. He's like, oh, now Jackalova's gonna punish us. And yeah, the children were unable to follow Yoko's movements and had no idea what had happened. But Yuni did. That was amazing. Yoko looked just like a Kunstler. And you see in Zonahedron's central body, you have incoming request from Major Jackalova Janssen. Patch her in. You have Log 44, a means but not a way. You have Major Janssen, I'm disappointed in you. Your failure is a threat to the very existence of the TGIF project. You have Zonahedron Central Body Truncated Toral Officer Trikfari. Looks like a weird looking dude. Jeff, I have no excuses. There are 33 locations currently under attack by Grunthal, 75% of the workshops in total. I am discussing with Dr. Oriel if we should simply abandon our outrageously expensive efforts in the TGIF project. And you have Director of Pan Science Ministry, Dr. Papa Oriel. It's like, no, 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 I want to do mind control. I wanna. It's like, this was a result of my carelessness, it is true. But if I may have a chance to explain myself, the enemy spy was far beyond my ability, and I alone could not have rectified the situation. Yes, your judgment was poor. The moment you learned that the Kaufman was in hiding at Deja Thoris, you should have called for a special forces squad. He's like, ugh. It's like, you must not underestimate the strength of the Kunzlers. The stories you hear take on such lives of their own that they're widely considered to be tall tales. But the cold, hard data confirms the truth. And she's like, I did happen to find something very intriguing in Deja Thoris. A lead on something that might deliver a major blow to Grunthal, or bring Zonahedron great secret knowledge. And she pops up the notebook. He's like, you cannot distract us from your failure, Major. He's like, whoa, hold on, what? Secret knowledge? What is it? Tell us, Jakalova. Come on, tell us. I want to know. And you have, very well, continue, Major. And you have, I have here a handbook that once belonged to a man named Knight Nagendra Nighthorse. Pressed inside it were 3 leaf-like objects. According to notes within the handbook, these leaves are a key to enter the Library of Auf. The Library of Auf? What is that? And Papa's like, oh, here, wait, I've heard of that. Oh yeah, I saw it in a paper from Volk Academy not long ago. It's a Panzerkunst legend, I think, that states whoever can access the Library of Auf will gain ultimate wisdom and become absolutely invincible and unstoppable or something like that. It's like, bah, it sounds like something out of a fairy tale. So aren't those leaf-like objects very curious, though? Those must be Nagendra's leaves. They were mentioned in the paper. From what I can tell, they don't seem to match the leaves of any existing flora. Like, those aren't plant leaves. They must be... Oh, yes, that's it. The Laub. Laub, the leaves of the Saulin? It's like, well, I won't know for certain until I get to examine it myself. And you have, pardon the interruption, you have an urgent communications request. From whom? An unrecognized user on the line from Workshop 41, which fell under attack. It's from the enemy. They're demanding to speak to the commanding officer. It might benefit us to get a glimpse of Grunthal Lieutenants, I suppose. Very well, patch them in. Just in case, give me an avatar disguise filter and apply the hypnospectrum add-on to the outgoing feed. It's like, yes, sir. And you see, irksome as it is, manipulating perception like this is necessary when dealing with ordinary mortals. You have frame rate stable, connecting now. You see him like transformed into this like aristocratic looking dude. With, I am truncated Toral Officer Trekapari of Zonahedron's central body. Who dares turn upon my private land with such gall as to ring my doorbell? Java, I'm finally connected, am I? You'll have to pardon me. I didn't have any other means to make an appointment. My name is Andra Ostad. I'm an Altmeister of the Volkvad School of Panzerkunst. You see this Roman-looking motherfucker now? Jav, Altmeister. Then you're one of the 4 in the Council of Elders, Grunthal's highest deliberative body. I didn't expect to catch such a big fish. He's like, oh, let's move past all the silly little tricks, shall we? Hypnosis attacks will have no effect on me. He's like, huh. And what does a Panzerkunst Altmeister want with me? He's the Altmeister is a rank of Panzerkunst, the leader and teacher of a school. Only one is chosen to represent his school, and thus there are only 4 Altmeisters. They make up the Council of Elders as the ultimate arbiter of Grunthal's decisions. So guys, I'm sure I don't need to tell you at this point, we have utterly destroyed your T-GIF project. If need be, we can drag you out into the open one after the other until all of Zonahedron is eliminated from Mars. We have the strength and the will to do so. So I'm aware that you're not idly bluffing, and I was just thinking that I'd like to get to know you before before I crush you. To be honest, some of your technology is truly eye-opening. You're clearly not weapons traders. Tell me, with all this funding and scientific prowess, what does Zonahedron really want? And he's just eliminate a bunch of like the Zonahedron NPCs in the back. And he's like, to us, Panzerkunst is merely a band of primitive mountain apes isolated to the tiny setting of Mars. This is not something that an alpha primate would be able to grasp, but if you wish, I can tell you. I was born on Luna in the Earth Orbitary Federation. As a young man, I thought to be a technocrat of Jeru. But the government of Jeru and Zalem was a collection of bunglers that blindly worshipped the super AI Malachi. They possessed none of humanity's dignity as the king of all creation. Malachi, which had been given life by the evil tyrant Arthur Farrell, was a true black box by that point, as no human being could grasp its full workings any longer. Mankind feared the godlike machine with its ability to perceive multiple dimensions and the future threads of fate, and they became mindless cattle following its commands. More recently, it was revealed that planetary-level super AIs have been built on Venus and Jupiter as well. We in Zonahedron call these planetary AIs archons, or false gods, and we formed to rebel against their heavy-handed rule and reclaim humanity's status as the true ruler of all existence. See, zonahedron is originally a mathematics term indicating a polyhedron consisting of multiple parallel faces around a symmetrical center. A cube, for example, would be a very simple zonahedron. You have the Altmeister going, bravo, bravo, what a story. So the real enemy are the super AIs. It's like humanity must evolve in order to resist the archons. One of our goals, therefore, is the development and transformation of humanity into Ubermenschen. And he's like, tell me, have you ever read Fyodorov? You have Nikolai Fyodorov, 1828 to 1913, a writer and thinker of the Russian Empire. His posthumous text, The Philosophy of the Common Task, had a major influence on Russian literature, philosophy, and science, and helped establish the movement of Russian Cosmism. So, the Philosophy of the Common Task was a favorite in my youth. I did not expect to hear Fyodorov's name come up today. It's like, while I find the whiff of Christianity in his eyes to be rather tiresome, I will admit that in a sense the world today has come to embody some of his wildest ideals. Pardon me, we've gotten off track. You have been honest with me, so I must return the favor. I will tell you of my true dream as well. When I was young, I too traveled about the solar system as a student of various planets, and with that experience behind me, I can safely say, my Panzerkunst is almighty. But in the past, there are people who said Panzerkunst has the means, but not the way. In over a century since Sauer founded it, Panzerkunst has discovered ever more effective ways to neutralize and kill one's opponents. It takes from all manner of combat arts, new and old, and incorporates modern tech to form a style of fighting that can thrive in any environment. At first, Panzerkunst was nothing but a minor martial arts style with some dozens of adherents. Now, Grunthal is a nation of its own with a population of over 1 million. We have the means, now we need a way, a purpose for using our almighty strength, a goal that our warriors would give their lives for and our people will sacrifice themselves toward. We need a way, and the one who can point out that way for us is none other than me, Andro Ostad. And what is your way, sir? It's like to unify the Red Planet and bring back the great Martian Empire of Mayhors. The Martian Empire created by the great King Elfrida at the start of Martian colonization, and you will pick up where a short-lived dream left off by unifying the planet. So it is the strongest who rule. Elfrida's failure was rooted in his inability to support his claim with muscle. The new Martian Empire Mavers will not plead for mercy. The powers of the solar system will take notice and then quake in terror when they hear our fearsome war cry. So I was right. It's like Mavers is the old Latin form of Mars, the Roman god of war and farming. As I will tell you again and again, my Panzerkunst is the mightiest in the universe. An expansion is the inevitability of an empire. There's only one thing for us to do. The Martian Empire will conquer the other weaker planets and unify the solar system. So, we may have come from very different places, but our conclusion is the same. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Ultimately, we do share a common foe, do we not? I speak, of course, of the Archons, enemy of all mankind. So, a suggestion worth considering. So, by the way, if you'll permit a digression, a subordinate of mine has recently come into possession of clues to a library of Auf. And you see on, what the hell was his name? Andro just like having a poker face as he goes, and what is that? It's like, it does not ring a bell? Forgive me, forget I mentioned it. And the other guy was like, he was obviously rattled, I can use that. Yeah, Ostad agreed to a secret temporary truce with Zonahedron, and they decided to set up another conversation for a later time. And yeah, I've kept you waiting long enough, Major Janssen. I have new orders for you. I am relieving you of your duties as director of the TGIF project. As of today, you're transferred to MBVSA. You must secure the Library of Alpha before Grunthal does at any cost. So you have Log 45, Crybaby Backup. You have mind explaining this to me? As she sees Yoko's escape. And like, we're sorry, Jakalova. Ko shot a gun at her and then the little one escaped. She's like, forget it. I've been giving you orders. I'm transferring jobs. The TGIF project is over. We don't need you anymore. And the kids were like, huh? What does that mean? It means that it's no longer my responsibility to manage you. You're free. Now get lost. It doesn't matter where. And like, no, don't leave us, Jakalova. Give us orders to follow. We'll do anything. Don't abandon us. And he just backhands him with a, get your filthy hands off me. And they're all just like sitting there crying with, we don't have homes to get back to. We can't survive on our own. And he's like, huh, you're right. It would be irresponsible to just abandon you here. In that case, I'll give you one last reward. He just like hands him a grenade and goes, thank you for all of your hard work. You know how to use it, right? So you want us to die? So you have no dreams, no hope. If you weren't KV, you would be nothing but human garbage. And garbage is meant to be disposed of. And she's like, give the order. As long as you order it, I'm not afraid. I can do anything. And she's like, no, no commands. This is the end. At least decide for yourselves how to meet it. And she's like, wow, don't leave us. So our lives are over. So are we gonna die? I'm scared. I'm so scared. So but it's even scarier trying to live. It's like, let's all go together. And you see, was it Mavis? Or Maki? What was it? Hold on, sorry, give me a second. Let's go back to see her name. Oh, Mika. Mika's like ready to pull the pin out. And you see Uni just like flexing all her muscles going, I won't let you. And as she pulls the pin out, Uni just like breaks free and like kicks the grenade off into the corridor where it explodes. And goes, don't choose death, you idiots. You are not garbage, trust me. Don't be stupid enough to believe stuff a bad guy says. He's like, Uni? It's like, no way, she ripped the cable ties apart? It's like, is Uni a gorilla or something? It's like, wait a sec. I didn't astral project, but I still use the power of the fairy. He's like, oh yuck, my hands are covered in blood, but it doesn't hurt at all. It's like the Mary must have heard my righteous fury and answered the call. The fairy is telling me to save the children, to defeat evil. And as Jacalova's heading outside, she's like, I don't see Gyapolo around. It's like, Gyapolo's out scouting. It's like, then pass him a message. Tell him, enjoy the party. Yeah, kick it, will do. It's like, the man might be insane, but he's a true genius when it comes to battle. It's a shame I won't be around to witness your death, Coin. And you see with scout drones picking up a friendly signal. Here it comes. Would you wake Coin up, Erica? And you see a Coin! It's like Arva! And you see a little blonde guy. Sorry. Other way. I don't know why I keep messing up the direction on this. You see him giving a hug. It's like, so you're the only survivor of Yugen Squad, huh? He's like, Coin, It's like, you've grown so much. I'm glad to see you alive. It's like, the backup's a real crybaby. Is he really gonna help? It's like, give him a break. He lost good friends. Jeff, tell us what happened to Yugen Squad. And Coin's like, you alright? He's like, I'm better now. After Toroja died, I felt the blood rush to my head and I charged in without a plan. You have a rah! You have a shack. Someone grabs his foot. It's like, Captain! It's like, Arv, you have to survive and pass this message to the others. It's like, no, I want to stay and fight to the end. It's like, that's an order. And I assume he shoves a parachute on him. And with a thud, knocks him off the plane with the, what? It's like, Captain! So Captain Eugen shoved a parachute into my hands and pushed me off the plane. You have a kick. You look like you got a bit more backbone. So I think I'll test out my new toys on you. And he's like, you won't like the results. He's like, Gemeines Brekenschlagen. And you see just like this giant like thruster blast was like exploding him, like cutting him into pieces. You have Captain Eugen, Toroja, if only I were stronger. You have Gyapolo's weapon was probably a multi-laser array, or MLA for short. It is designed to be the ultimate defense against ground-based weapons. The sensors detect attacks and automatically shoot down bullets, bombs, and missiles at the speed of light. It's the natural enemy of Panzerkunst. Excuse me. It's like, then, are you saying he's unstoppable? And Quines like, calm down. There's no such thing as a flawless weapon. Do you remember the secret to Panzerkunst that I taught you ages ago, Arv? He's like, of course, I would never forget. And Coin's silent for a second, and then I think Erica just like dumps her soup out on his head. So did I nod off for a second? So that just reminds me, Hofracomp gave me something for you. Anti-narcolepsy drugs. It's like, great, thanks. I was just running low. And he kind of pops into his head. So one of these cartridges will allow me to keep concentration during battle for 3 minutes or so. But unlike a fuel tank with a hole in it, when I use it too often, the length of the effect shrinks. That's going to be a Chekhov's gun for later, huh? Like, sorry to go off on that tangent. What were we talking about? It's like the secret to Panzerkunst. Hold him by the nose and kick him in the balls. That's the secret to Panzerkunst. And Erica's like, the Bubba. It's like, hey, there's a lady here. He's like, something an old general said, but it ain't wrong, is it? You have a paraphrased quote from the American Army General George Patton. So that's the real problem, Coin. I can't tell where his nose or his balls are. So where's the nose to grab and where are the balls to kick? When you know that, you'll be a true master of Panzerkunst. And Eric goes like, boo, 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 boo. It's like, whose balls are you talking about? It's like, you know, they used to call me the fucking Christ, Kishio, come on. The flying balls. Kick, 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 kick. It's a Log 46 tunnel strategy. It's like, kick, 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 kick. I came back to see you, Coin the Kunstler. The Capolo. It's like, why did the drone give us a warning? It's like, your tech is too old, idiots. It's utter shit compared to my Machisno ECM. And you see us whip as they launch themselves back. It's like, eek! It's like, go with R of Erica. And you have ECM as electronic countermeasures, noise modulation, jamming, and any other electronic means of impeding radio signals. It's like, get, yes, yes, run. I'm a very nice man. I'll give you a head start. And you see them taking off in their sand dune buggy as Arv takes off in the flyer. Time for a little game of tag. You have a pop, pop, pop. As a Coin tries to, like, artillery gun tries to shoot at him. It's like it's blocking all his shots like a shield in a cartoon. So we gotta do something about that MLA. You have incoming laser correspondence. The connection approved. So you read me, Arv? He's chasing after me. This is good for us. You should stick to the plan, withdraw, and go rescue the hostages in the fortress. He's like, no way! I want to avenge my squad. And even you can't handle that MLA without a plan, Coin. He's like, well, do you have a plan? I do. A plan that Hofrakamp told me about. It's like, alright, let's go with that. And Nogara's like, I get the gist of it. It's like, there's a perfect tunnel for that 5 kilometers ahead. You go on and set up the trap, Arv. It's like, will do. It's like, now that means our job is to stay alive and lure Giappolo to the tunnel. It's like, but he won't make it easy. You see one of the tires getting shot off the truck. He's like, kick. I thought it might be fun to have a firefight again, but shit, what the hell's wrong here? Just feels like I'm dealing with any other scrub soldier. I wanted something to set my nerves on fire, something to make me feel alive. This is just a waste of time. Is this all you've got, Coin the Kunstler? And Jeff like, this must be the tunnel. It's like, Erica, scatter the flour off the back. Or they're going to set off like a flour explosion in the tunnel. It's like, are we really going to beat the monster with flour? It's like, we won't know until we try. It's like, give me one last big one, Nogara. It's like, no use holding on to these. It's going to be a fire sale. Ask the branch manager to expend some. You will shut bam as they fire off a bunch of rockets. It's like, I told you your shit doesn't work. You have a boom. As the Giappolo drops down onto the tank with a get. It's like, he's not in the turret. And they have a shwip and swoop as they do a bunch of like rope traps to tie him down. Yeah, Giappolo, you may look different, but you still got balls, all right. I knew you wouldn't be able to stand that long distance combat. You'd come flying down. It's like, damn you, Coins. Like he understands me. Yeah, Gra, he's trying to like rip himself free. And it's like, Nogra jumps off. He's like, what are you doing, Coin? Disengage. Yeah, he's too strong. Autopilot won't be enough. I've got to keep him attached. He's like, Chip, come on, stay focused. Yeah, piece of shit, gah! As they're heading into the tunnel. So you thought going in a hidey hole would help? You have the moment Giappolo used the MLA in an attempt to free himself. The air in the tunnel around him exploded and burned. Java, we did it! And Erica's like, that's amazing! You can cause an explosion like that with just flour? I'll need to remember that one. So it was, in other words, a dust explosion. When combustible powder reaches a certain density in the air, even a tiny spark can cause a massive blast. This is known as a dust explosion. And Harvey's like, huh? Coin was in the tunnel with them. It's a Coin! And you see inside his Coin just like breaks open the roof with a wham. Yeah, I figured. A little blast like that wasn't going to be fatal. For me or you. As he faces off against burning Giappolo inside. Of course, we have translation notes. So I guess quick thoughts on the volume again. I was expecting the Giappolo stuff, I think, to be wrapped up a little quicker than it was. A little quicker than it appears it's going to be, but that's not a huge complaint here. It was nice getting kind of like a little backstory with Coin and Dawes and like all that stuff. Apart from that, I'm very curious about like Yoko's whole thing about like how she's just been playing Koi this entire time. Because I don't know. There's got to be like some kind of like history or something with regards to that fact she has like almost like a fairy, so to speak, like Uni does. So I'm very curious to see more of that development with like her history and everything. So yeah, I'm curious as like where that's going, like where she's apparently just a Panzerkunst genius, kind of like undergoing this evolution. But yeah, apart from that, I did like that I caught the kind of like the Roman aesthetics that Andro was going for with this whole gimmick. I did like the film, like the fake faux philosophical way, like he and the other Nazi were talking about their plans for the empires. Apart from that, like Kishiro really sometimes does have like the fucking immaturity of a kid where he's like, balls, dick, hee 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 hee. So it's just like, all right, bro, all right. But yeah, like I said, again, this is it's kind of an intriguing volume. So looking forward to where the next one is going to go from here. So like I mentioned, the next volume is supposed to come out February 2025 sometime. So hopefully by then I will be able to do a fresh read through for it when the volume drops. I will admit I never thought I would actually be caught up to Battle Angel Alita when it was current, but it's a good thing to be caught up to. So with all that said, I hope you all did enjoy this video. If you did, like I mentioned at the beginning, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Because like I said, it does really mean a lot to me. So until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.